welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices here in San Diego, California, St. Louis, Missouri, and Washington, D.C. I'll be here for the next hour trying to answer as many immigration law-related questions as I can. Looks like some smart people are on our text list because I just created the link for this 10 minutes ago, and we already have 8 people in the waiting room. So if you haven't already, you should text the word show to 314-470-3300. That way you find out when I'm going live. And this week's going to be sort of glitchy as to when my start times are, just because I don't know my schedule day to day. Let's go ahead and get started. This is episode number 328 of the show. If you haven't already, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear what immigration issue you're going on with you. Oh, yes. Thank you, Juan. I need to put the link to how you get into the waiting room. I will do that now. Everybody else who's not on the text list can find out how to get in the waiting room. Here's how you get in to ask a question. All right. Here we go. Copy. All right. There's the link for anybody who wants to get in the waiting room. Lewis is up first. Hi, Lewis.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well here in Austin, Texas.
Nice. I'm going to be in Austin in a couple of weeks.
Well, there's a gin and tonic waiting for you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much.
I'm a British citizen, as you can probably tell, here in the States on an L1A, hoping to move to an EB1C.
Yep.
All of the paperwork, 140, 485, etc., all submitted last month. 140 was approved after 30 days, which was cool. Done biometrics, all seemed to be going good until I saw a thread on Reddit, and now I realize we might have a problem.
Which is?
On the 485, there's a new version of the 485, and it included the stuff about public charge.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a public charge. I don't plan on becoming a public charge. And question 61, I and the lawyers interpreted, which says, are you subject to the charge? I clicked no. But with hindsight, looking at it more carefully, are you subject to the charge of admissibility under the section? I should have ticked yes, because the type, from what I've read, only VAWA and refugee and asylum seekers are not subject to it. So because I ticked no, I didn't answer questions 62 through 68, which are about your annual household income, whether you've ever been a public charge, etc. So I guess my question to you is, what are the likely outcomes? Best case scenario, an RFE asking for me to answer those correctly. Worst case scenario, I've misrepresented myself and oh, I think you're on mute, Jim.
Thanks. Haha, my old trick.
Flash up the badge. You're on mute.
Yeah, right. I think worst case scenario is you get an interview on your 485. That's it. They'll clear it all up. They're not going to care about this. Most officers don't even know how to process the public charge things on there. And I think it's probably going to be something that's done at the service centers, not at the field offices. So worst case scenario, you get that RFE or you get an interview that you might not have had otherwise.
Cool. Well, that's very relieving. My big fear over the last 2 days has been I've just signed under perjury that this is all correct. And
no, I mean, people make mistakes. People make mistakes on those forms all the time, even with lawyers. So the purpose of the interview is to clean everything up. So I think you're fine.
I emailed the lawyers and they said that they also agree that they had misinterpreted it. So, but ultimately it's my fault. I signed the form, not the lawyer's fault. So
actually it is. Well, that's debatable, I guess. But yeah, there's plenty of blame to go around, but it's not a big deal.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you for reassuring me.
Lewis.
Gin and tonic's waiting.
Good luck. See ya. All right. That was Lewis with a nice offer from the UK. How about that? May's back. Hi, May.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just want to give you an update.
Did you get your green card?
Not yet, but I did. I know, right? I did get my my work permit. I got the notification on exactly 1 year when we filed for everything else, and then today I got my interview notice. I'm gonna have my interview notice. Here's the thing, though. So I updated my lawyer. I said, "Hey, I got the schedule. It's on April 11." And remember, I filed through my stepson.
I remember the whole
So,
story.
yep. So I asked him, should I bring him or should I just bring my husband? Because it says there, if it's a marriage based, bring your spouse. Your spouse has to be there. So I said, okay, so should I? Because he's leaving the next day for North Carolina. So we have to
Your
prepare.
your spouse is?
No, my stepson.
Your stepson. No, you want to
Yes.
bring your stepson. Don't bring your husband.
Okay.
Nothing
Okay.
good can come from your husband being there.
Nothing good, really?
No, not with the Adam Walsh problem.
Uh-huh.
Nope. We don't want
Ah.
him. We don't want him 10 feet. We don't want him 10 blocks from that place. Which field office is it?
In Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah. So I've only been to the Hartford field office once. It was a nice place.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, bring your son just in case. He'll probably
Uh-huh.
just sit out in the waiting room the whole time and not do anything. But it's better to have him there
Uh-huh.
than to not have him there. And
And
the officer. Is
yeah,
there any problems with his birth certificate or anything? Everything's cool there.
everything's cool. Everything is I'm more scared of how he go through the interview because he's not, you know, he's not good at interviews.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be I have like a month to prepare for, you know, to
Well, the
prepare
interview is
him.
probably mostly going to be. It's going to be 90%. Should we give May a green card, and 10%? Do I believe this relationship between mother and son? So as long as there's, I would bring some stuff that shows you've been his mom for his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Like his birth certificate and then everything after. But then
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Here's
it's
the thing
very.
though.
It's
Uh,
yeah. Go ahead.
because I came here 2018, but prior to that, we've just been talking online.
Who?
So,
Your son?
yeah, my stepson.
Oh, the stepson, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Although, some connections between him and me, I opened a business, and I have him with me as like a co-owner.
Okay, so now I have to
So,
rethink things. It was a stepson, not your son. Then
yeah,
I
it's a
wonder if your
stepson.
I wonder if your husband doesn't have to come because the marriage might impact the validity of the relationship. So I think he does have to come, and I think you
So
probably
he
need to.
has, yeah.
I think you need to prove. Are you going without a lawyer?
Here's another thing. My lawyer asked, "Do you want me to go there?" And he
Yeah, because he
said, "But
doesn't want to
there."
go. Because the lawyer doesn't want to go. That's why.
No, and then he said, "Well, there will be an additional fee." I said, "Oh, how much?" 2 grand. And I said, "For that?" I don't know. It's just
That's
way
what
too
we charge.
expensive.
That's what we charge.
Oh, okay. It's just a little
But how
expensive.
much did he charge you? So how much? That's how much we charge. Like if you had us come, but like, um, how much did he charge you to do the whole green card case?
5,600.
Yeah, so we included the interview with that if it's in St. Louis or San Diego. So that's a
Uh-huh.
lot for that. That's a lot for that. But they know it's going to be a rock fight.
Uh-huh. Okay. And then another thing, I feel like I didn't have a good connection with the lawyer because when I remember when I that's why I go to you
Mhm.
because I'm easy. It's easier to talk to you than him, and I now I'm confused. I don't know. Should I bring my husband or not?
I think so.
Should I? So I should. Okay,
I
and then
think so.
should I bring my lawyer? And how
I think
I
so.
feel like it's on the day. That's the first time I will see him face to face. I don't feel like we have a connection there. I don't know.
First time you'll see who face to face.
I'm sorry?
The first time you're going to see who face to face.
The lawyer.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I don't know.
Well, here's what I would say. May, you're the boss.
Mhm.
Call up the lawyer and tell him everything you just told me, and
Yeah.
tell him, you're the
And
boss.
I feel like if I ask you any tips, anything that you can share with me, I know that you will be able to share a lot. But with him, just bring your papers and this and that and done. I feel like that's it. This is all we pay
Well, are they
for.
gonna? I mean, the 2000 should include preparing you and your husband for the case. I think everyone has to assume that they're going to treat it like a marriage case. I think everyone has to assume they're going to treat it like you married your husband
Mm-hmm.
to get the relationship to the stepson so that you could get a green card. So I think we have to assume it's going to be a tough interview. I don't think it's going to be an easy interview
Okay.
because parent cases only get interviews about 10% of the time.
Yeah. Okay. So this one we would have to bring like almost everything that we can present to know that him and I are in good relationship, good marriage, and then between me and my stepson we have a good relationship.
Yep.
Okay. Documents and all. Alrighty. Thank you so much,
Thanks, May.
Jim.
Keep us posted.
I will. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that's our old friend May. Hopefully she's going to get that green card approved on April 11th, which is an auspicious day. The birth of my first son, who I'm going to have dinner with tonight. So that's a good sign. All right, Lalu's here. What's up, Lalu?
Hey, Jim. Thank you for picking up my number. The question for you is, I spoke to you before. It's about I have a pending I-751. Was granted a green card in 2019. Now I'm just thinking to take a divorce from my wife, but she says I don't need a divorce, and she's trying to, not to take a divorce, honestly. So I spoke to Daniel last time, and because my mother has also filed for me, and I got the case number for my mother. It petition in 2014, I guess. Forgot the time actually, but they said they have sent the case to a different office for adjudication or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So what are my chances? What do you think? Like, shall I? Because I don't want to continue with my wife, and I haven't said anything to USCIS till now. So I'm just wondering what my options are. What do you think? Shall I just wait and get I-751, or see what they are giving? Do they approve me, or do they give me an interview and then act upon?
So I need to make myself a note to do a video on this, but
I can't hear you.
Oh,
yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Really low. Yeah.
Okay. So on a 751, I like to go back to all the way to the beginning, like before you had your green card, right?
Yeah.
What was your status? Did you get your green card? Did you go through the embassy, or did you do it all in the United States?
So here is the thing. I came in 2010 on B1, B2 visa with my previous wife, who passed away of breast cancer in 2012. And after she passed away, me and my son, we were living with my brother's house, and I was an F1. My son was an F2. I was never out of status, and I always maintained my legal status in the United States. And then I found this girl, and then I thought like she was the soulmate, and then everything worked out, and we got married and all that.
So how was your green card interview?
Green card interview was pretty smooth, but they were very nice with me, but they split us later on. It was just one interview. So I applied in December. No, I got approved in December. I applied in, I believe, March or April. I applied for all the things, 485 and the whole bunch of, advance payroll and everything. And everything went very smooth. The interview was okay, but they were asking a lot of questions to my wife, and she answered whatever she can, because she was a widow. So her husband also passed away before.
So you're both widowers. You're a widower and she's a widow.
Right.
What's the receipt date on the 751?
Receipt date 21 December of 2021. I don't exactly know the date.
Oh, so it's only a year old.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your question for me? You're going to get divorced, and what happens next?
So no, I haven't taken divorce or anything. So my thoughts were, do you think there's a chance of we can reopen my mom's case and withdraw this case? So is that a possibility?
Why would you do that?
Because my mom filed for me and my son, and that came out in 2022. But because I already had a green card, so I think you're
going to make it much more complicated than you need to. I would just file a new 751. I would, if your marriage is over and you don't want to rely on your spouse anymore,
Yeah.
then I would get divorced and file a new 751, what we call solo, without the spouse.
Mm-hmm.
If you prove that it was a real marriage, then you don't have to going back to try to reopen your mom's case. You're going to wait years for that, and you're not going to know if it's going to work.
So when I do this, how much? What would be the fees? Because it's me and my son. We were both joint. My son is a minor. So how does this work with you guys?
Yeah, so a joint, simple, straightforward 751, we charge $4,000. So on a complicated, on a divorce case, it'd probably be like $5,500, and then we probably charge an extra $2 for your son, so maybe $7,500, something like that.
Okay.
And you'd have plenty of time to pay it off because the case is going to take 2 years.
Right. Okay. I think I am pretty close of the time limit because my processing center is Nebraska, and it says 15 months for like the I-751 processing.
I don't know anyone who's getting it faster than 2 years. It happens maybe once out of 30 cases.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Thanks, Jim. I will get back to you and your office and start planning something else then. Okay.
Thanks, Lalo. Thanks for coming on. Bye, buddy.
Bye.
All right. Next up, Dreamer. Dreamer's walking around.
Yes. Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good, thank you. Okay. I have a question regarding my brother. He came in here on a fiance visa. It's a same-sex marriage. However, as soon as he got here, things went wrong. So the fiance, the U.S. American citizen, refused to marry him anymore. So they separated. So because there's a lot of animosity in the Philippines, and at the same time, he's got issues with not police, but somebody from the government who's a high-ranking official, and he's got death threats. So we reached out to a lawyer, and the lawyer advised to do a asylum, and also, so that was filed. And at the same time, because my mother, when she was still alive, she petitioned F2B for him. And then because she passed away in 2012, of course, the petition died. However, I was able to file a humanitarian revalidation, and it got approved last year.
Yeah, but your brother can't adjust through that, because when you come on a K1, the only way you can get your
go
status
back to the Philippines. Yes,
that's right.
And so, is there any way to appeal it that he can adjust here, explaining that he's on asylum?
No.
No,
he just got to try to. The asylum case sounds weak to me too. But
he's also got medical issues. Since he's been here, he's been in a hospital at least 7-8 times.
Yeah, but that makes them not want him to stay. That doesn't make them want him to stay. They don't want to worry about is he paying all of his medical bills?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't. They're not going to find that compelling. Why does he? Who's going to persecute him if he goes back to the Philippines?
There's this a colonel that's been having issues with him, but something to do. Yeah. Something to do with money laundering, because this colonel is affiliated, or his girlfriend swindled my brother, and so he filed a lawsuit against the girlfriend, and so he's having death threats, and also because in the Philippines there's too much animosity, or what do you call this? Not harassment, but what do you call this? They don't like gay people.
Yeah, but you can't get asylum just because you're not liked. You have to show that you're going to be tortured or killed or persecuted.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe good luck to him. I hope it works out.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Yep. Bye.
Okay, bye.
next up, Juan.
Hey, how's it going? Basically, questions because I haven't started anything. I have my wife here with me. We met a few years ago. We met online. I traveled to her country. We did the whole process. I submitted the K-1 visa process, and then things, kind of took a turn. We ended up breaking up and everything. And then more recently, she decided to enter the United States and apply for asylum, or with
like at the border.
Yes. So she entered. We kind of worked things out, and we recently got married on the 26th of this past month. So we already had plans on doing that anyway, because the last time I went to her country, I had already, proposed and everything else. But so we went ahead and tied the knot, and what we're trying to figure out is like, what do we do next?
How was the separation?
How long?
Mm-hmm. Like when you broke up, how long had you broke up?
Like maybe 4 months.
And so what was the status of the I-129F?
It's just in process.
Right, but like how long had it been on file when she decided to enter the United States?
Let's see, maybe I think it was like May 2nd of last year. She came here in what? September?
29.
Yeah, September.
So I wouldn't be surprised if USCIS thinks that you guys never broke up and that she really just came through asylum because you guys got sick of waiting and being separated.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's gonna be an issue you're gonna have to take on head on, because I think that might come up at the interview. Okay. So and is that her only entry into the United States?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So and then what's the status with the immigration court? Does she have a court date coming up or what?
At all. We just checked not that long ago. Like 2 weeks.
Did she get paroled in, or what paperwork does she actually have? She got paroled in?
Paroled in, yeah.
Yeah. So she's gonna have to deal with the entry. And I should have asked this before, but you're a US citizen?
Yes.
Okay. And were you born in the United States?
Yes. Yes.
Great. Okay. All right. So the first step is to file an I-130 petition, which is, my name is Juan. I'm a US citizen. I was born in the United States, and I am now married to, I guess, are you guys married now?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I'm now married to a woman that I filed the I-129F. I need to withdraw my I-129F. I need to file the I-130, and I have to convince them that it's a real relationship, like even more than regular people. So they're gonna hold her case up for extra scrutiny, extra testing. Okay, so you're gonna need a lot of evidence. How long have you guys known each other?
Since we met online, since 2020. And like I said, I traveled to her country twice, met her family, everything.
What's her country?
Nicaragua.
Okay. So then once the 30 is approved, then you're going to have to deal with the court. So you're going to have to go to the, there's a outside my window. There's a, let me see. I don't know. Maybe not. Sorry about that. Anyway, so then you got to deal with the court. So you're going to have to either get the deportation proceedings terminated. You're going to have to file for a waiver for the unauthorized entry. And then you're going to have to show that it'd be a hardship to Juan for her to get sent back to Nicaragua. So you're going to have to build a case about why you can't go live in Nicaragua, why you have medical issues or psychological issues or financial issues that are more than regular people who have a loved one going through the deportation process. You have to show hardship if she were not to be allowed to stay in the United States. I mean, alternatively, you could push the asylum case, but that's going to take 5 or 6 years. So she always has that in her back pocket. But the first step is to file the I-130 and prove up the marriage.
Okay. So like she's got a son as well that came with her. So what would something like that cost, like from start to end?
Probably something like $10,000-15,000 in legal fees.
Okay.
But you're talking over 3 years. It's going to be a long process.
Okay. So, like, do you guys take care of anybody in like all 50 states or?
Yeah, immigration's federal, so we handle cases like this all the time. We have a lot of waiver cases. Yeah, we'd be happy to help.
Okay. So,
have you contacted the office?
No. I've seen a few of these videos. I found you on TikTok before when I had a TikTok and went from there.
Now you don't have TikTok anymore. You gave up on TikTok?
Yeah.
Probably smart. It's a total waste of time. When I have to wait for my videos to post, and then I start watching, and it's sort of addicting. Here's our contact information. You can call that number 314-961-8200, or that's our email. Just say, my name's Juan. I was on the show Monday at around the 25-minute mark.
Okay.
And you can contact us any of those ways and say, just tell them, go watch me on the show, and then you'll know what to do, and then they'll reach out to you.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Thanks, Juan. Nice to meet you.
Same here. Thank you.
Bye, buddy. All right. My little bird friend left. That's funny. The last time I was here, there was a bird out there. That's a good sign. I must share the news that our old friend Shabazz is back. He's saying hello. For those of you who don't know, Shabazz says he wants some approvals, not jokes. No jokes for Shabazz. He only wants approvals. And Shabazz, we know you want those approvals. We know that you want that I-130 to get approved. So hopefully sometime soon. But we're glad you're such a good sport. And we'll be glad when you get some news, you come back on and tell me about it. Okay, Shabazz? Another old friend is here. Yago's here. Hi, Yago.
Hello, Jim. How you doing? Awesome. First of all, I wanted to thank you from the last call. I don't know if I think you remember, basically. After that call, I sent an email to my international advisor. She went the same route as you mentioned, like strongly advising not to do the travel. And I right away, I felt so relieved, and I canceled everything. And I'm not traveling to Brazil right now.
Good.
For the process. And first of all, I want to thank you for that. It was really, really important for my story here in America. Because
what'd your fiance say? She was okay with it?
Yeah, she was bummed. Obviously, she was bummed, but she understood, right? And if it would be like jeopardizing our life here,
Yeah.
Our plans. So right now our plans are they changed a little bit. So I wanted just to ask you some questions, some planning. So just to give me some light.
Go for it.
Is kind of worried about it. So right now, I reached out to my company's attorney, and USCIS said that they're gonna give us response to the people selected on the lottery on the H-1B on March 31st. So in the next 2 days, I'm gonna know if we're on lottery or not.
Yep.
So I just want to understand what happens, because right now the EAD, right, the employee authorization from OPT, and expires on May 31st.
Right.
I just want to understand the two cases. The first case is that I'm getting the lottery. So what happens with the work authorization? Do I have to stop until the new one gets it, or do I just, because it's a transition between OPT to H-1B? How does that work?
If you get selected, then what'll happen is you'll take your receipt notice that your company receives, and you'll bring it to your international student advisor, and they'll extend your I-20 to September 30th. And you can keep working on that. It's called the cap gap extension. So you'll be able to work up until October 1st. And then in theory, your H-1B should start on October 1st if it gets approved.
Oh, I see. And if it doesn't get approved, I just after it expires, I have 60 days, right, to just leave the country. Is that something?
Well, but you're going to be married to a U.S. citizen by that point, so we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we have this wedding planned already. We just I just want to get in a lottery so I don't have to. She's very, very worried about this, and we're thinking of not.
What's she worried about?
About the transition between the work authorization process, and
because
I'm worried
because worried that you're not going to be able to work, or that you're going to have to leave, or something bad's going to happen.
No, just not going to be able to work, for 2 months and stuff, or maybe I don't know how long it's going to take.
Well, You know my answer to that one, Yago, don't you? Call up the court and get married tomorrow. Then do your other marriage. Nobody cares about the other weddings. Go ahead, do that whenever you want. You don't have to change those dates, but just go get married tomorrow and get started right away.
Mm-hmm. And then, okay. So once we start the process, okay. So like,
I mean, you might get lucky. You might get a work card in a month, like some people are. Most people are getting it. Most people are getting it, 5 or 6 months, but some people are getting it in a month or two. So, my favorite saying is the best time to get your case on file was a year ago. The second best time is today. So,
I see. I see.
Vamos, we say.
Vamos Brazil. It's just like in terms of like pricing that your practice like charges for this kind of cases. I just want to understand.
Yeah, so the filing fees are $535 and $1,225. You'll do your medical, which will cost you like $400. Our fee is $5,500 from start to finish. So most people pay us like half up front, and then we're going to be together for a while. So then it's month to month after that.
Okay, I see. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to talk with her, and
okay.
And that's it. Thank you so much once again.
Thanks, Yago. Bye, buddy. All right. Hey, speaking of international students, I was speaking to the International Educators of Illinois on Friday, and it was sort of cold and rainy. It was about 8 a.m. My wife and I were going into, it's something called like Montaigne Valley or some community college on the south side in Chicago. And I'm walking towards the entrance, and there's this truck there dropping off some stuff. And I hear somebody say, "Hey, Jim." And I look around, I don't see anybody. And I look up on the truck, and he goes, "Jim." And I was like, "Do I know you?" And he goes, "It's me, Chris." I go, "Chris, I don't know who you are, Chris." He goes, "I was on your show yesterday or last Thursday. You told me to call back later." So Chris and I took a picture, and I just want to share it with you because that just makes me happy when I meet people out on the road. Here's Chris. That was my wife took that picture. That's me and Chris hanging out at the community college in southern Chicago last Friday. So how about that? So remember, if you ever see me out and about, it actually happens more often than it's happened in DC. It's happened in New York a couple times. It's happened now in Chicago. So that just sort of made my day. So how about that? All right. With that being said, let's say hi to Sophia. Sophia.
Hi, Jim. I'm sorry. My mouth is...
You're eating breakfast, eating lunch?
I'm eating dinner, and I'm kind of prepping for Ramadan. So.
Now, when I went to Friday prayer, the imam was talking about Ramadan as a marathon, and we got to get ready for it. So, yeah, Ramadan's coming. It's about a week and a half away.
I know. Soon you're going to be having a date with the dates.
Yeah, and I got to figure out, because I work out on the treadmill at 5 a.m. and I sweat a ton. So I practiced today not drinking water for the first half hour. So I think I'll just soldier through.
I think I'm trying to soldier through Mondays and Thursdays, trying to fast.
Yeah.
So I don't have a question, but I send you a lovely message in the private chat, of course. But since I'm here, I'll ask a general question. My friend, his mom and dad was legally married after his 18th birthday. That's one. But 10 years ago, they got married legal. So what his question really is, would they need, there are 3 brothers, would they need a DNA test for dad?
Wait, what? I was reading the nice message you left me. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, so his mom and dad is married after their 18th birthday. 10 years ago, they got married, of course, not yesterday or today. So he's thinking if he applies for them, would they need, their 3 brothers, would the 3 brothers need a DNA test for dad?
So you're talking about your husband, right?
No. I'm talking about my friend. His mom and dad are married legally after his 18th birthday. And he wants to know when...
He's a U.S. citizen?
Yes, he is.
And he wants to apply for who? He wants to apply for mom and dad and the siblings, or just mom and dad?
No, just mom and dad. But the question is, Mom and dad has only been legally married 10 years now, coming up to 10 years, and he's wondering if the three of them might need to do a DNA test to prove that was dad.
Oh, maybe later. Yeah. Is dad on the birth certificate?
All three.
All three? What do you mean
all three? They're three brothers. He has two other siblings rather than
I don't care about forget about the other brothers. Right now,
okay.
I only care about him.
Okay,
so,
yes.
Let's say his first name is Sam.
Okay.
So Sam's a U.S. citizen?
Correct.
Sam naturalized, or what happened to Sam?
Naturalized.
Okay, and now Sam's thinking about applying for his parents, but he was born out of wedlock, but his parents have been married for 10 years.
Has been almost coming up married to 10 years, of course.
And you're asking me, do I think that Sam and his mom and dad might have to show DNA to get mom and dad a green? Well, mom shouldn't be a problem to get dad a green card.
Yeah,
right?
his general question is towards dad, if he'll need a DNA test for dad.
Is dad in the United States or outside?
No, they're outside the United States.
Yeah, so the embassies are much harder about this than USCIS, but basically I would say that they probably will.
Okay, and here's the other trouble he has. They live in 3 different places. Like,
you mean
he's here in the United States, but he has a brother in Vancouver and a brother in England.
A brother in Vancouver and a brother in England.
Yes.
Why do you keep bringing up the brothers? I don't care about the brothers.
Oh, so just him have to do a DNA test and that's it.
Well, but the brother able to come with mom and dad, that's a totally different bag.
Oh, no, they're not coming, but he was wondering if all 3 of them would need to do a DNA test.
No, but these are all very strange questions. It sounds like something's not right.
Okay, that's fine. All right,
thanks, Sophia. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. All right. Next up's Emma. What's up, Emma?
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, Jim, quick update. So, USCIS gave till I think March 22nd to give them to have a decision, right? So, do you believe like the green card is just gonna come to the mail, or are we gonna have a decision sent to the address first?
Don't know, man. We don't know. We just gotta wait and see.
Okay, perfect. Because they gave to March 22nd.
Yeah, so that's not long.
Okay. All right. That's the update for your other half at the moment.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
All right, perfect.
See ya. All right. Let's say hi to Prabha. Hi, Prabha.
Hello, Mr. Jim. I'm Prabha. I'm actually from Indonesia. Currently, I'm a student here. Currently I'm a master student in South Carolina, and then I'm married with the U.S. citizen.
Nice. What are you studying?
I'm studying about international hotel and tourism management. This is my second master actually.
Nice.
All right. So I just married with U.S. citizen, and I'm wondering, actually, what the kind of steps I need to do to filing my file actually.
Okay. I can walk you through it. So your spouse is a U.S. citizen?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So because they're a U.S. citizen, they can file what's called an I-130 petition for alien relatives. That is, my name is Jim. I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm married to Prabha, and I want to sponsor Prabha for a marriage-based green card. So that's form number 2 is the I-130A. This is all a bunch of background information about Prabha. So that your spouse files the I-130, you sign the I-130A. Then you're also going to file a form called an I-485, which is to change your status from international student to lawful permanent resident. So that's going to have a ton of questions on it. When I first started doing immigration, that form was 4 pages long. Now it's like 22 pages long. So there's a lot more questions on there than there used to be. So they'll ask you all these questions like, have you ever been a drug dealer, a prostitute, a communist, a terrorist, all this stuff. And you'll say, no. But you got to be careful answering those questions. And then you'll apply for a work card, which is a 765, and a travel document. Once you file, you're going to be stuck here for about 7 or 8 months till you get that travel document. So make sure that if you're going to travel, you do it before you file, but I would just go ahead and file. And then the last form is your spouse is going to have to show that they can support you. So they're going to need tax returns for the last 3 years, and they're going to have made enough money to be your sponsor.
All right.
And that's it.
All right. Thank you so much. Actually, my second question is, as currently I'm in a F1 visa. Actually, we are honeymoon to Bali. Like we are just back on the 10th. We are come to Bali to celebrate our receptions, and then it's like I'm still in a F1 visa right now. I'm not yet processed to the petitions, and I got my social security numbers actually. As my F1 visa, I only can do working in
Campus.
campus. And actually, how I can get my working permit actually?
After you file everything else, one of the things you'll file for is a new work permit.
After that.
What? Yeah. Now, the stamp you have in your passport for your F1, is it still valid or did it expire?
Yes, it's still valid.
Okay, good. And now, when you through customs, they might ask you if you got married. You're gonna have to tell them the truth, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'd be a little worried about leaving the United States if I was married to a U.S. citizen. Hopefully, it won't be a problem, but they could give you trouble.
All right. Actually, because they just stamp my passport, it's okay. It's like because I'm not yet filing anything. So,
yeah, but you're already married, right?
Yes.
So if they ask you if you're married, you got to say yes. Otherwise, don't bring it up.
All right. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Prabha.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Justice is here. We've been looking for some justice. What's up, Justice?
Hey, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me on here.
Sure.
So my question is, I came to the U.S. about 10 years ago through adoption, and I got married about 2021, and I filed for my wife, and the process was documentarily qualified since July 28th, and it's almost 8 to 9 months now. I haven't heard anything from the embassy about interview, and it doesn't make sense to sue the embassy at this stage, or do I have to just stick it out and wait?
What embassy?
Ethiopian Embassy.
And so when you got adopted, you became a U.S. citizen after getting adopted?
Yes, it was immediate thing. I actually became a U.S. citizen the day I got in there because it was adoption.
Yeah. So 7 months is a little early. So we've been telling people to wait a year or a year and a half before suing. We thought we were going to stop suing the embassies if it was just documentarily qualified, but we looked at the numbers, and since January 1st, 2022, we filed 70 lawsuits against the State Department that were not documentarily qualified, and we only got motions to dismiss in about 9 of them. So it's a pretty good shot, but I think 7 months is too early. I think you got to wait at least a year.
Okay. There's no way to expedite because of the conflict, right? Because Ethiopia has been in a large conflict, and who knows what comes tomorrow.
I think you said Egypt.
Ethiopia.
Yeah. No, I think you still have to wait. I'm sorry.
All right. That was my question. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it.
Hi, Justice. See you, buddy.
Bye.
Mariana's here. Hi, Mariana.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for taking my call. I have a couple of questions. Okay. My husband got his employment authorization card on February 25th. And Social Security number hasn't arrived yet, the card. So what should we do? Should we keep waiting for how long, or should we go straight to the Social Security office and
I go down there and ask them what's up.
Okay.
Usually, sometimes it comes the same day or the day before even, so that's unusual. And they might be able to the system and see. They might just issue a new one. You generally don't want to have two because it screws things up, but if something's wrong, you probably just need to go talk to them.
Okay, perfect. So basically right now, we haven't received any request for evidence and nothing. We are just waiting for anything. Do you think our case is going to be approved without interview?
I think it's a good sign if you got that EAD. When did you file the green card case?
I filed the I-130 on December 1st and all the rest of the forms on January 11th for my husband and for my little son.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Why'd you file those separately?
Which one?
Why didn't you file the I-130 with the 45? Why didn't you file it all?
Because I did the I-130 online, and I wasn't ready to file the rest of the forms, and I sent it by mail.
I think that'll probably, if you do get an interview, that'll be why.
Okay. So since my son is 3 years old right now, do you think, he's not going to get an interview, right?
No.
Do you think he's going to be approved or right away, or should I take him to?
It's all tied to the spouse. You should bring him to the, they both might get interview notices because it's a separate I-130 and that's just paperwork, but you don't need to worry about it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and the social security card for my kid is gonna be ready as soon as the I-485 is approved, right?
I know this is a strange question, but did you file for an EAD for the kid?
No.
Yeah, you could have.
I could.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. We filed for ourselves.
Yeah. It's fine. You're doing great. You're almost there.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bye, Mariana. See ya.
Bye.
All right. Hey, look who just checked in. It's our buddy Chris. What's up, Chris? It was nice seeing Chris. He made me laugh a couple times. So he said he's going to call me back because his case is a little bit complicated. I think that's right. Ahmed's here. Hi, Ahmed. You're on mute.
Hello, Jim. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you very much. Can I turn off the camera, please?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Jim, I would like to appreciate whatever you're doing for everybody. We really appreciate it. I'm from Saudi Arabia. I've been watching your show for a long time, long time, and I would like to appreciate everything you're doing. I have a couple of questions. I'm not sure if I should talk to this in here, but I'm married to a U.S. citizen. I came here as a student visa, F1 visa, and I applied April last year, 2022, and thank God I got my work permit in October 2022, and so far I'm still waiting, but I got something that unexpected with the CBP. I usually I ship like a motorcycle to Saudi. And one time I got a question by the CBP officer as what's the purpose of the motorcycle and everything. And somehow the forwarder for the agent for the shipping company, he advised me to do something wrong. We'd submit the wrong documentations. And right now, basically, I have a problem with the CBP, which is they hold in my container. So I'm not sure if this is going to affect my, as you can see, like interview or my papers or anything of the process going on is going to coming up.
I think that you can plan on it. Yes, it's going to make things more complicated. I say this all the time, Ahmed. You might know this, you might not. I became Muslim like 25 years ago. Yes. My wife is from Egypt. Most of my clients are from the Middle East, and the hardest thing for me to do is to get an immigration benefit for a man from a predominantly Muslim country. And you've handed them something to hit you over the head with, and that is the CBP container issue. So I think that means they're just going to sit on your case for a really long time. And I bet somewhere down the road, hopefully not, but I bet somewhere down the road you're going to have to sue them.
Okay, so I applied in April 2022, and I got my work permit and everything, but since thinking for you that I should wait at least 1.5 years. And I don't mind waiting as long as I'm staying here. But I just I wanted to double make sure, I know this is a problem, but it's still there's nothing against me yet. I just have a case number with them, and I still don't know what's going to happen with this.
What's the overall issue? They think they don't like it or what?
Basically is the photos. He put the wrong prices for them, and we
Wait, let's stop
submitted.
talking about it. Hold on. Let's stop talking about it. Do you have a lawyer for that?
Not yet. Not for this specific issue, because they asked.
Yeah, you need to go get a lawyer who deals with what's called civil forfeiture, or what. You need to find an attorney who handles the U.S. attorney in the area where you live.
So this is, you mean for the custom, right?
For the customs, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for the custom, so this would not be an immigration lawyer, as because it's complicated. It's kind of with the CBB, and I'm an national, and at the same time I have a case number. So I don't know if I should ask immigration lawyer, or as you just advised.
I would know one immigration lawyer who could work on it. That's me, but I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. I don't think you want an immigration lawyer. What you want is a white collar criminal defense lawyer in the town. You want someone who the U.S. attorney where you live, because and you might not be able to do anything, but you got to be ready. This doesn't sound good to me.
Okay, well, we'll pray for it. Hopefully, Ramadan Kareem.
Thanks, Ahmed. Yeah,
thank
you
you
too,
very
buddy.
much, Jim. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully, we get good news hopefully soon. I appreciate your time, and thanks again for all what you're doing. God bless you, man.
Bye, buddy. Oh, we got some bad news. Our friend Stainless had some shrimp tacos and saw that we were doing the show, and the dog ate Stainless's dinner. Can you believe it? It sounds like I owe Stainless some shrimp tacos. How about that? All right. Speaking of San Diego, Robert's here. Hi, Robert. Oh, hey, I got that same shirt. You're on mute.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool shirt. So I got two quick questions for you. So one is, we've obviously your farm filed my wife's paperwork. It looks like we got a letter to do the medical. So we're doing that Friday, actually, this Friday. Nice. So I'm hoping that's a good sign that they may skip the interview.
Yeah.
Like, the bigger question is, she has a social security number through DACA. When we get this approved, is she going to get another social security card, or do I just take that original one and get a new one that doesn't have the valid for work authorization only? So the number stays the same. Okay.
Yeah. The goal is to try to keep the same number.
Okay. And then another question is more for one of my employees. He has a friend that didn't renew his DACA. So apparently, he's trying. I guess he had a question for me, and something I don't really know the answer. But is there anything he can do to reopen that, or is he pretty much? Because I know they're not accepting new applications.
Yeah, it's treated an expired renewal is treated as a new filing for purposes of that injunction. So I think he's just waiting to see what happens with that case.
Yeah, I mean that's unfortunate, because I kind of was like, well, I don't think there's any other way.
That was a big mistake.
Yeah, that's a huge. I mean, because if we don't hear anything back, because my wife's expires in May. If we don't hear anything back by mid-April, we're just going to pay the $500 and renew her DACA just to continue to have that paperwork.
All your options
there. Yep. So, that was my only question. I mean, I'm hoping that that's a great sign that we're going to skip the interview.
Yeah, and we've been getting more and more of those. So hopefully.
I just don't know, because she's been here for so long out of status, and you just never really know. But I'll definitely come back on and let you guys know how one way or the other.
We've had one or two DACA adjustments based on marriage with advanced parole go through without an interview, so it wouldn't totally surprise me.
I'm hoping so. I mean, when we came back from Peru, there was no issues at the border. The advanced parole was fine, so we kind of we saved ourselves a lot. And I think I do want to say something to people that are watching on YouTube later. I understand that your fees went up, but I think what people need to understand is, here in the Los Angeles area, I've seen people that cost more, and I've seen people that cost less. And I can only tell but my experience. And we filed in January, and we're already getting paperwork back already asking for the medical. So I would just implore people you can't look at the overall number. You have to look at what the value brings. You have to make that sacrifice and say, hey, look, it is what it is, and do the best that you can, because there are firms that cost significantly more. I will say that, and I've had nothing but great experiences. And Kayla is our
Kaylee.
paralegal, and I think yeah, and then Rudolph is the main attorney, and
Tim.
just can't say anything negative. And I think for the people that are on the fence, just find a way to make it work.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it.
No problem.
We'll talk soon, bud.
Take care.
All right, bye. Speaking of fees are going up again. We're raising all of our fees for all of our case types on April 1st by $200. $200. All the fees go up by $200. I saw this nice comment from Mariana. Thank you, Jim. I got nervous. I forgot to tell you that I follow you on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. I love your content and helped me so much on my case. We filed without lawyers. Mariana, you're a friend of ours. We're happy for you. We hope it all works out well. And of course, I'm always happy to help people, whether they hire us or not. And we want everybody to stick it to USCIS whenever we can. Maestro's here. I think if he's Maestro, you still here?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
What's up? You're gonna be our last caller of the day.
Yes, sir. I spoke with you the other day. Maybe you can recall me from Brooklyn.
No, I don't remember. Call from 10 minutes ago.
When I said that my I-130 was approved and the I-485 was still pending for 5 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted to get some clarity before I go ahead and pursue the suing process.
Okay, go for it.
All right. The first question is when I did get my visa, it wasn't the first time that I was traveling. It was the second time that I did stay.
Uh-huh.
And like the first wife, she wasn't like living in Jamaica or so on. So you were saying that was a red flag, knowing that when I went to the embassy, I said that I was married, which I was married, and then I divorced.
Yeah, it's not just because of you, it's because of all the other people that have done that same thing. That's why.
So even though the person is not living in Jamaica, that could be an issue same way.
Mm-hmm.
And the next question is pertaining, as I said, my daughter, she's outside the country, which me and my wife filed for. But I-130 did approve. But it's been like 7 months. When we call USCIS, they said it's gone to the visa center. So I was wondering what's the process with that.
Is it supposed to be at the visa center or it's not supposed to be at the visa center?
NVC.
Is it supposed to be there or not? Is the person overseas or the person in the United States?
We just called USCIS and they told us that it's at NVC, and they gave us a email to contact them, but it's been 7 months.
But is this a green card case where the person that is
the person is overseas? The person is overseas.
Yeah, so then you're just waiting at the NVC. You're just waiting.
Okay, so what's the time frame with that?
Oh, we were just talking about it over a year at least. So somewhere between a year and a half.
Okay, so we should just wait. And what are they going to do? Send us an email?
Yeah, you got to make sure that they have your right contact information, but keep calling them.
Okay, you have anything to say, Chantal?
I wanted to just know.
Well, my wife wants to ask a question. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Awesome. So I heard my husband explain to you the other day, and then you gave him a bit of clarity, but then I explained to him that he didn't explain it to you to the exact. So I'm not sure if the information that you gave him was correct based off of how he explained it to you.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just wanted to reiterate a bit. So he basically stated that he got a visa back maybe in 2015, and then he was married at the time before me, and when he got that visa, he traveled on the visa before while he was with the first wife. And apparently they didn't work out, and after that he wound up getting a divorce. And
so on this first trip he came to the United States and then he went back home, or he stayed?
He came and he went back home.
Okay.
And then he came back 2 years later.
Okay.
2 years, yeah, 2 years, 2 years plus later.
Okay.
And then he stayed.
Yeah.
And then we got married.
Okay, but did he get divorced back home in Jamaica, or did he get divorced in the United States?
He got divorced back home in Jamaica, but you know, a divorce usually takes between maybe a year and a half, maybe 2, depending on, you know, properties or whatever. But his took about a year. So he got divorced back home and then he came here.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying that the fact that he came and went once before sort of helps his argument that he wasn't doing anything sneaky.
Yes, and I'm asking, but I'm saying so as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yep.
Also, what were you saying?
No, yeah, that's what, because he was saying that was one of the red flags, but you were saying the next red flag was that we get married.
Just overstaying and getting married is a red flag. But where are you right now?
Oh, we're located in New York, Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, so he wasn't understanding what I was saying. So he's the one that's trying to get status based on this marriage, right?
Yes, because I'm a citizen here.
He's physically inside the United States.
He is.
So that your case shouldn't be anywhere near the National Visa Center. Your case should be in Brooklyn.
No. Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. It's maybe your accent. So here's the thing. I filed for him and my stepdaughter at the same time, but my stepdaughter would be under me. They improved both I-130s, his and hers. So we were waiting on the fact of saying that maybe sometime soon we'll get reached out to based off of hers. Since hers is already approved, she don't need the 485. She just need the I-130, right?
Well, but she has to process through the national. So is she in the United States or is she overseas?
She's overseas.
And you filed 2 separate I-130s, one for your husband and one for your stepdaughter.
Yes.
So those 2 cases are completely different. Where's your husband's case?
His case is in the U.S. It's in the Brooklyn. Well, it's Brooklyn office because it's in Lower Manhattan.
So what's the question?
So the question is that he had 2 different questions. See, it's 2 different situations. He introduced a different situation just now. The first situation he had introduced was his case and how it would work out for him based off of being married before, getting divorced, and then staying the first time on travel.
Yeah. They're going to give him trouble about the marriage. There's no doubt about it.
Got it. Right? And then he also wanted to know about this, like our daughter is saying, basically, everything else went through for her. So we're just now waiting on the NVC. And how long would that take?
Well, but you did the DS-260, you paid the fees and filed the affidavit of support and all that stuff?
That part haven't come through yet. We've been waiting for them to send out the information for us to take that next step.
And that's been 7 months?
It's been 7 months.
So you probably confused them because of their cases being so close together. I would have probably, how old is the daughter?
She's 7.
Yeah, I probably would have just done your husband's case, get that well on the way. But by filing them both together with one person here and one person there, it probably screwed them up and they're not figuring out what in the hell's going on.
Okay. We recently contacted them back in February, and they told me they checked over the email address and the phone number and the information that we have given them, and they said that we should wait on a response within a month. That month wind up in this month, so it was just past week since it been a month. And then I called back, and then they said that they gave me an email address to reach out to NVC.
Yeah, I that's fine. That's what you should do.
Okay. So, as far as my husband case, okay, I know what to do for my daughter. As far as my husband case, his trouble is in the fact that he was married before. Is that what you're saying? And he overstayed.
And he overstayed, yeah. And he's from Jamaica, and they're racist.
Factual. Okay.
Damn right. Especially Brooklyn. New York, the New York field offices have a thing about people from the Caribbean. They're not cool about it. They think everybody's a scammer. So again, heightened scrutiny, extra evidence. You got to hit them in the mouth and hit them hard because, overstaying the visa is on the fraud list of one of the fraud indicators. Is if someone gets married when they're out of status, that's on the fraud indicator list, which means they're going to hold it to higher scrutiny. So you guys got to go in there with guns blazing. You got to have all the evidence you can.
Okay.
But then said the I-130 was approved, though.
Yeah, he knows that. He knows the I-130 was approved.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, but the officer will still revisit it when he has his green card interview.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
All right.
All right. We went a little long now. In San Diego, I don't know what time we're going to do the show tomorrow. So if you haven't already, you need to send that word show, SHOW, 314-470-3300, and we'll text you tomorrow when I figure out what time. It's probably going to be in the afternoon. I'm working in the morning, and then we'll go from there. Thanks, everybody, and have a great night.